Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramakrishna. Letters of Swami Vivekananda. Arise, awake, onward. I only tell you this, that whoever reads this letter will imbibe my spirit. Have faith, onward. Swami Vivekananda. Letter number 50. 541 Dearborn Avenue, Chicago, 28th June 1894. Dear, footnote, a disciple of Madras. The other day I received a letter from G.G. of Mysore. G.G. unfortunately thinks that I am all-knowing, else he would have written his Canaries address on the top of the letter more legibly. Then again, it is a great mistake to address my letters to any other place but Chicago. Then again, it's a great mistake to address my letters to any other place but Chicago. It was my mistake, of course, at first, because I ought to have thought of the fine buddhi, intellect of our friends who are throwing letters at me anywhere they find an address at the top. But tell our Madras Brahaspatis, these wise fellows, that they already knew full well that before their letters reach, I may be 1,000 miles away from that particular place, for I am continuously traveling. In Chicago, there is a friend whose house is my headquarters. Now, as to my prospects here, it is well nigh zero. Why? Because although I had the best purpose, it has been made null and void by these causes. All that I get about India is from Madras letters. Your letters say again and again how I am being praised in India. But that is between you and me, for I never saw a single Indian paper writing about me, except the 3 square inches sent to me by Alasinga. On the other hand, everything that is said by the Christians in India is sedulously gathered by the missionaries and regularly published, and they go from door to door to make my friends give me up. They have succeeded only too well, for there is not one word for me from India. Indian Hindu papers may laud me to the skies, but not a word of that ever came to America. So that many people in this country think me a fraud. In the face of the missionaries and with the jealousy of the Hindus here to back them, I have not a word to say. I now think it was foolish of me to go to the Parliament on the strength of the urging of the Madras boys. They are boys after all. Of course, I am eternally obliged to them. But they are, after all, enthusiastic young men without any executive abilities. I came here without credentials. How else to show that I am not a fraud in the face of the missionaries and the Brahmo Samaj? Now, I thought nothing so easy as to spend a few words. I thought nothing would be so easy as to hold a meeting of some respectable persons in Madras and Calcutta and pass a resolution thanking me and the American people for being kind to me and sending it over officially, that is, through the secretary of the function, to America, for instance, sending one to Dr. Barrows and asking him to publish it in the papers and so on, to different papers of Boston, New York and Chicago. Now, after all, I found that it is too terrible a task for India to undertake. There has not been one voice for me in 1 year, and every one against me. For whatever you may say of me in your homes, who knows anything of it here? More than 2 months ago, I wrote to Alasinga about this. He did not even answer my letter. I am afraid his heart has grown lukewarm, so you must first think of that and then show this letter to the Madras people. On the other hand, my brethren foolishly talk nonsense about Keshav Sen. And the Madrases, telling the Theosophists anything I write about them, are creating only enemies. Oh, if only I had one man of some true abilities and brains to back me in India. But His will be done. I stand a fraud in this country. It was my foolishness to go to the Parliament without any credentials, hoping that there would be many for me. I have got to work it out slowly. On the whole, the Americans are a million times nobler than the Hindus, and I can work more good here than in the country of the ingrate and the heartless. After all, I must work my karma out. So far as pecuniary circumstances go, I am all right and will be all right. The number of Theosophists in all America is only 625 by the last census. Mixing up with them will smash me in a minute rather than help me in any way. What nonsense does Alasinga mean by my going to London to see Mr. Old, etc.? Fool. The boys, they don't know what they're talking. And this pack of Madrasi babies cannot even keep a counsel in their blessed noodles. Talk nonsense all day, and when it comes to the least business, they are nowhere. Boobies who cannot get up a few meetings of 50 men each and send up a few empty words only to help me. Talk big about influencing the world. I have written to you about the phonograph. Now there is here an electric fan costing $20 and working beautifully. The battery works 100 hours and then can be replenished at any electric plant. Goodbye. I have had enough of the Hindus. Now His will be done. I obey and bow down to my karma. However, do not think me ungrateful. The Madras people have done for me more than I deserved and more than was in their power. It was my foolishness, the forgetting for a moment that we Hindus have not yet become human beings, and giving up for a moment my self-reliance and relying upon the Hindus, that I came to grief. Every moment I expected something from India. No, it never came. Last 2 months especially, I was in torture at every moment. No, not even a newspaper from India. My friends waited month after month. Nothing came, not a voice. Many consequently grew cold and at last gave me up. But it is the punishment for relying upon man and upon brutes. For our countrymen are not men as yet. They are ready to be praised. But when their turn comes even to say a word, they are nowhere. My thanks eternal to the Madras young men. May the Lord bless them forever. America is the best field in the world to carry on any idea. So I do not think of leaving America soon. And why? Here I have food and drink and clothes, and everybody so kind. And all this for a few good words. Why should I give up such a noble nation to go to the land of brutes and ingrates and the brainless boobies held in eternal thraldom of superstition, merciless, pitiless riches? So goodbye again. You may show this letter to the people with discretion. I do not think the Madrasis have shown much discretion. Even Alasinga, upon whom I built so much. By the by, will you kindly send up a few copies of the sketch of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's life written by Mazumdar to Chicago? They have lots in Calcutta. Don't forget the address, 541 Dearborn Avenue, North Street, Chicago, or care of Thomas Cook, Chicago. Any other address would cause much delay and confusion, as I am continually traveling and Chicago is my headquarters. Although even this much did not come to the brains of our Madras friends. Kindly give Gigi, Alasinga, Secretary, and all others my eternal blessings. I am always praying for their welfare, and I am not in the least displeased with them. But I am not pleased with myself. I committed a terrible error of calculating upon others' health once in my life, and I have paid for it. It was my fault and not theirs. Lord bless all the Madras people. They are at least far superior to the Bengalis, who are simply fools and have no souls, no stamina at all. Goodbye, goodbye. I have launched my boat in the waves, come what may. Regarding my brutal criticisms, I have really no right to make them. You have done for me infinitely more than I deserve. I must bear my own karma, and that without a murmur. Lord bless you all. Yours truly, Vivekananda. Postscript. I am afraid Alasinga's college has closed, but I had no intimation of it, and he never gave me his home address. Kiddy has dropped out, I am afraid. Vivekananda. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.